What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Bleach Soul Resonance video. And folks, oh man, what a day, what a day. Aizen is officially out. And let me tell you, I'm a little surprised at how quick they decided to release the man. If you don't know anything about me, my two favorite characters in Bleach have always been Urahara and my boy Aizen, two of the most intelligent characters, of course, not taking anything away from Mayuri, but like these guys are, to me, the pinnacle of what this show is about and what makes this one of my favorite animes of all time, if not my favorite anime of all time. So Aizen being released is a pretty big deal for a lot of folks like yourselves and me. I am free to play still, guys. Free to play. I have some bad news. This is probably the first time, that's right, the first time I did not actually get the character I summoned for. I did put everything I had into trying to get Aizen. Didn't work out. We still have a lot of time, so I'm not overly worried about it. I think it's going to happen, but I do want to go over the character and talk a little bit about him and what makes him exciting and why I'm very, 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 very excited to get him on my spirit team with Toshiro and make sure that that team actually thrives quite a bit. Now, the beauty of Aizen is two things. Number one, he does fantastic DPS from what I've seen in terms of the actual videos that I've watched. And number two, also great support unit as well too. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to break down his entire kit. Now, because I don't get the ability to try him out myself, it kind of does ruin it a little bit. But we will definitely do a full showcase once I get the ability to grab him. Now, for some of you guys are asking, Payne, why are you only a certain level? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have not been using any of my staminas on purpose. I've been taking things slow and steady and trying to finish everything without using staminas as free to play, because I know eventually what's going to end up happening is something's going to release that's going to require a lot of stamina, and I want to have the stamina pots available for me so I don't ruin that part of the game, right? So very, very important, guys. If you plan to be a free to play player for the long term, using stamina pots for end game content will always be more important. Not to mention, this event actually does drop a few different things. So number one, you get this event, daily event that you can do where you fight a Garganta, and you can see here, if you fight the elite one, it's great because you get finish it, you get some reward exchange points, and these reward exchange points can go towards various items, including spiritual jade, which is the most important one, of course, and it's limited to only 200. Plus, you get yourselves a few of these gears right here for him, these stamps, right? And these stamps are very important because these are good for Aizen. You can also farm these, by the way, but to be able to get them right away at 5 stars is a pretty damn cool thing. Not to mention, you also get some stamp tokens to get inside the corridor keys in order to farm more stamps, and then of course spiritual power for more stamina. So very, very important, guys. I've got 27 left, so make sure you are logging in and doing it. I've used a few, to be honest, just to kind of catch up a little bit. I wanted to hit the 55s to farm some of the end game content, but this is easy rewards and great rewards. Unfortunately, though, as a free to play, this is where it's starting to become a little bit more difficult, right? It's actually becoming more difficult to keep up with the units that are dropping, especially if you're a fan of a lot of these units. Like Gin is coming out next, big fan of Gin. Won't be able to go for him, obviously. It's either Aizen or Gin. Aizen will win out 99.999% of the times, to be honest, 100% of the time. So if you are a free to play player, the ability to get the characters you want is going to be difficult every single time. So if they don't put these characters inside the actual custom banner, it's going to be a problem. So this is a limited time gacha, just so you're aware. Just like Toshiro, it's a limited character right now, so Aizen will be available through there, and then of course his weapon will also be something that you can go for. I failed that as well too. You can see 10 out of 40, and over here I am actually 51 out of 80. This is the worst I've done. I've got most of my characters out of like 10 for like each go was right away for summon. Toshiro was 2. This one's going a lot more. So we're going to do a lot of farming, guys. You guys can see here I'm missing 425 spiritual jade, but that's why I have a lot of story, adventures, towers to do, so I'll be fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the character. Talk about the character trials and what makes Aizen really, really cool. So he is you can see here, he's a spirit character, right? Very important to remember that. We're going to go to start the trial here. We're going to talk a little bit about all of his skills, everything he brings to the table. Then we're going to go into the gacha and kind of break his skills down for you, okay? So you guys can see this is not Aizen from Soul Society. This is Aizen from the Arnankar saga, right? So a couple things you need to know about him. Number one, not only being spiritual, but he has a battlefield skill, which is amazing. So battlefield skill and spiritual pressure. Things you need to know about his on-field abilities. So his attack accumulates battlefield skill energy, allowing him to release the battlefield skill Hado 90 Korohitsugi. When Aizen is in the back line, releasing a battlefield skill switches him in and makes him attack. Okay, so you guys will see some of this happen. Releasing the ultimate or releasing a battlefield skill or landing the last strike of the basic attack upon reaching 3 pressure stacks releases spiritual pressure intimidation, increases Aizen's interruption resistance, and auto triggering perfect dodge. Pressure stacks are gained from the last hit of techniques and basic attacks. You're going to see this. He also reduces, I believe, the type of resistance as well for everybody, so everyone just does more damage. So overall, he's the great debuffer for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. You'll see here the attacks, right? Very quick attacker. You know who reminds me of a little bit of Byakuya in terms of his attacks. Just very quick, very methodical, all over the place. Very confusing, just like Aizen should be. And then here's a skill right there. You guys can see we're building the spiritual pressure. And overall, very fast attacks. Very fast attacks. Okay, so we did that all right there. And right there, we built up his battlefield skill. Okay, so enhanced pressure stacks. During spiritual domination, all pressure stacks gained by Aizen are converted into enhanced pressure stacks, releasing the frontline battlefield skill Hado. 90 consumes all enhanced pressure stacks, granting shields to the team. If 3 enhanced pressure stacks are consumed, switching characters within 5 seconds will auto-trigger a counter-attack. So you'll see right in the bottom here, you'll see like right where his health bar is, there's 3 little pressures, right? So you'll see I'm going to build this up very quickly. There's 2 right there, right? And you're going to see I'm going to build 3 right there. And we're going to go ahead and cast this right here. This is the Hado 90. And right here, I can actually summon another character to come in. And bam, ends up doing a counter-attack move right there. So really strong, very powerful, amazing skill. And at the same time, helps you bring in another unit to do more power. Okay, so ultimate and enhanced battlefield skills. After releasing his ultimate, Aizen enters Kyo Sogetsu, enhancing his basic attacks and backline battlefield skills. The first 3 hits of his basic attack accumulate enhanced pressure stacks, while the last 2 hits trigger the 90, the Hado 90, right, as a battlefield skill. So you're gonna see how this works. This is really cool. So watch. You do this. He goes into his ultimate, right there. And right here, we're going to just do basic attacks. His basic attacks are now fully enhanced, and he's doing a lot more damage right into the Hado, right? You can see he can bring another unit in, and right away, we're going to do this into his battlefield skill. Right there. Look, watch what happens right here. He slices right through. Bam. So completely changes how the battlefield skill looks, and also the fact that the ultimate allows you to do all enhanced skills. So very powerful, right? So here, we're going to go ahead and jump in now and do a couple different attacks. Just show you guys a full-on gameplay that he provides. Hopefully do a counter here and there so you guys can see how that looks. Here's a counter. Oh, I missed the counter. Sorry, I got to look down at my phone because I'm still playing through my phone. All right, we got 3 there. You guys can see now a little bit more enhanced in terms of his attacks. And then we're going to go ahead and cast his battlefield. And then we're going to jump in and bring Urahara in this time instead. See, he comes in with his counter. It looks like his counter. And then there's the Hado right there. Or the skill right there. And into his ultimate. And then again, his ultimate will allow you to do everything enhanced compared to what you were doing before. So very powerful attacks into there. We'll bring in Toshiro this time. And then finish it off with this. Look at that. Just insane amounts of damage and skills being used to complete this battle, right? So very powerful, guys. Super strong character. And also just brings a lot to the team. Not only is he bringing shields, not only is he bringing crazy DPS, but he's also bringing a ton of support as well too. And he has great range. And I think that's one of the things that people have to understand with this game is range matters a lot, especially when you're doing content where you're not supposed to be getting hit. It's an easy way to finish content without losing the 3 stars that you want. Plus, for future content, the removal of the type resistance is going to be huge for all different units, right? So there you guys go. That's Aizen in a nutshell. So let's go over his skills a little bit and talk about what makes him very powerful. Pretty much, if you don't have him yet, I don't have him. I've been seeing video gameplay of him, so shout out to everyone who's been doing video gameplay. It's been actually awesome to see. I've been able to test this out, the trial a little bit more. And then if you look into the gacha section, you can go to the gacha and kind of read over his skills, right? So right here, if you guys go to the detail part right here and just press on his button, you'll be able to actually go into the character and see what he's all about. So you guys can see his weapons, his strategies, etc., right? So this is his strategy, a mid-range DPS with both AoE damage and tactical abilities, excels at breaking defenses and chaining combos. Thanks to his powerful skills, he can dive into battle precisely, unleash rapid suppressive attacks. So these are his skills right over here. You guys can see the recommended lineups are as follows. So we got Momo, we got himself, we got so Urahara, Toshiro, and him. That's probably going to be the best advanced team. That's probably the best one to use. And then the recommended stats for him is crit rate, crit damage, and attack. And then these are the stamps that they're going to recommend for you to use. Especially if you don't have his, you have a second pick and then a first pick. So this is kind of nice. If you haven't seen this before, the strategy button is very important. Kind of gives you a full-on breakdown of everything the character is about at max level. And then what they recommend for you to use in regards to his recommended core stamps and his weapon stamps. If you don't have the main one, there's a backup. If you don't have the main stamps, the core stamps, then you can do the secondary pick ones as well, right? So think very, very important to do this. And then you can see right over here, if you go back, you can check out his skills and what his skills do. So first off, his counter, right? After blocking an enemy's attack, Aizen immediately counterattacks in rapid succession, dealing damage equal to 419% of attack and gaining 1 pressure stack. If you don't know what a pressure stack is, you can press it, it'll tell you. So once I here, pressure stack, there it is. Oh, actually doesn't, this one doesn't show you. It goes straight to Ravage for some reason. Pressure stack, pressure stack, pressure stack. It just shows you Ravage. Interesting, okay? Landing each of the first 3 strikes inflicts 1 thing of Ravage. So releasing the battlefield skill Hado 90 or counterattack inflicts Ravage to the enemy, reducing their all type resistance for 15 seconds. That's what I was talking about. So that's what Ravage does in a nutshell. So very important to remember that. His battlefield skill, it's a freaking novel, guys. It does a lot, okay? So Aizen has 2 types of energies, battlefield skill energy and suppression gauge. So battlefield skill energy accumulates through Aizen's attacks while on battlefield and is required to release the battlefield skill Hado, and then the Hado 90, and the suppression gauge is gained when other teammates successfully hit the enemies. Advises the only one left in the team, then all attacks except I will stand atop the heavens will contribute to the suppression gauge. So when the suppression gauge reaches its maximum, Aizen enters complete suppression. During this time, releasing a backline field consumes all suppression gauge to increase this damage by 50%. All right, while Kaya Sugetsu is active, the damage boost from the complete suppression to the battlefield is now increased by 200%. So that's his ultimate, by the way. But the required suppression gauge is double, so you need more than before to do it, right? And you guys can see here, switch in Aizen immediately, dealing damage of 129% of attack and increasing spiritual damage by 15% for 10 seconds. And that's one of his battlefield skills. And then right over here, you guys can see all the extra things that he does. So very, very important, guys, to remember that he will reduce all types of damage on the opponent. So you can do a lot more damage by 15%. And then not only that, he does more damage as well when in ultimate form. Everything in ultimate form that we saw earlier, of course, is enhanced, including his battlefield skill and everything that he does as well too. So very important to remember that as ultimate is what you obviously want to aim for. And then Aizen steps back and releases a sword pressure for his basic technique, dealing damage equal to 250% of attack and gaining 1 spiritual pressure stack. Within 6 seconds after releasing this skill, the technique and basic buttons become active, and tapping them can trigger the second phase of the attack, Unavoidable, or the special attack Hado 63. If Fated Demise is released at the moment the enemy strikes, the damage of both Unavoidable and Hado is increased by 25%. So you can see he's a little bit more enhanced in terms of how to use them, right? A little bit more involved in terms of timing, in terms of using the right skills at the right time, and also making sure when the enemy attacks, if you do it, you do more damage. Double it, right? So pretty crazy. All right, so core passives, you guys can see all those over here. The main thing to note here is Aizen accumulates pressure stacks through various attacks. We talked about this, right? Reaching 3 pressure stacks, releasing a battlefield, landing the last strike of the battlefield basic attack will activate spiritual pressure intimidation for 10 seconds. You guys can see what that is right over here. So right here. Releasing ultimate or releasing any battlefield skill or landing the last strike, reaching 3 pressure stacks will activate spiritual pressure intimidation during this time. Interruption resistance is increased and perfect dodge is auto triggered on most imminent attacks. All pressure stacks gained are converted into enhanced pressure stacks, and also he does do illusion shield, significantly increases interruption resistance. Taking any damage consumes 1 stack to negate it and grants invincibility for 1 second, allowing you to pretty much do what you need to do without being interrupted. Okay, so very important to remember that. And then if 3 points are consumed at once, then for the 8 seconds switching to another teammate will auto trigger their counter attack with its damage and spiritual pressure reduction reduced by 50%. Additionally, for every 1 enhanced pressure stack consumed, the team gains 1 stack of the illusion shield. So that's what we were just talking about earlier. And then you guys can see his tainted form while releasing the battlefield Hado 90. Each enhanced pressure stack consumes inflicts 1 extra stack of ravage to the target, up to 6 extra stacks, which is crazy. The effect of ravage is increased by 2.25% per stack, so that can go up pretty high. And then during his ultimate, the entire team gains an extra 11.25% attack. So you can see here he plays all sides of the coin, right? Debuffer, buffer, attacker, DPS, mid-range, close range, he does it all. So Aizen is a force to be reckoned with, and quite honestly, I wish I kind of went for him over Toshiro. Toshiro's fine, but they are great together, and Urahara still is the best support in the game in my opinion, and pretty much fits in every single team being a slash even. I'm using Urahara in my Ichigo team with Byakuya, and I'm using Urahara now with Aizen and Toshiro. Well, when I get Aizen, I'll be using him with Aizen, Toshiro, and obviously Urahara as well too. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Aizen, I cannot wait to get you. All right, folks. Talk to you soon. Take care.